Bonjour, bonsoir, ça passe tout le monde, tout téléspectateur qui j'en nouye. Moi-même, c'est Evans, mais nous connaissons sur Mr. Big Time et nous branchons sur canal qui relève Creole Car Reviews TV. Premier des bagages, je voulais excusez-moi de manque de posts, pas post assez pour nous. C'est demander nous pardon parce que il y a des petits bagages dans la vie personnelle moi qui doit régler, mais qu'on y a là nous back et nous back vraiment dans 2000 Canadien International Autoshow 2026, ok, qui est encore dans le centre-ville Toronto, dans le Metro Convention Center, qui accueilli année passée une année record pour les gens qui viennent visiter Showa. Il y a plus de 350 000 personnes qui viennent visiter Showa l'année passée et année ça il y a peut-être plus de monde encore. Ça veut dire que le marché automobile canadien il gagne en pile et mouvement là dans lui. Il y a plus de 200, presque 300 000 véhicules et machines qui vendent l'année passée dans le pays. Et nous connaissons qui tendance qui gagne qu'on y a là dans le marché. Tendance là c'est EV, machine électrique. Ok, alors c'est ça que Showa a montré encore. Et excusez-moi, nous obligés de mettre un petit swag pour nous. Pour mettre nos frais parce que son honneur pour moi et pour me présenter et contenu ça et jeudi à là dans épisode ça dans show ça dans édition ça que m'a présenté nous c'est édition de Jounin pour médya. Alors canal là qui est même ici là, OK? Canal ça, c'est lui-même qui ont pionnier dans le monde là et au point de vue de un canal qui présentait culture machine et en créole et que ce soit pour acheter, pour vendre et pour nouveauté, pour innovation. Alors canal là pour montrer nous qui ça qui gagne dans le marché pour aider nous à faire bon choix de n'a pas acheter. Alors, pour la troisième fois, parce que l'année passée, canal la patte là, mais année ça, pour la troisième fois, non, excusez-moi, pour la quatrième fois depuis 2020, et canal là sont média accrédité, qui est reconnu par Showa et qui donne nous opportunité de participer encore une fois dans la journée média ça. Alors, qui ça m'a présenté nous aujourd'hui là, c'est toute présentation qui était gagnée pour médias seulement. Son bail exclusif. OK? Exclusif. Pour canal là, pour nous présenter nous et présentation spéciale pour show ça année ça. Alors, nous pour aller m'a regarder guide là, m'a montrer m'a dire nous exactement qui ça que a présenté nous aujourd'hui là. Alors m'a présenté nous Hyundai, m'a présenté nous un message de président Showa et Mr. Rick Blacker et m'a présenté nous Volvo qui sont manufacturiers qui mettaient en pile en phase sous sécurité, safety en anglais. Alors, il y a des bagages que vous avez besoin de communiquer nous. Restez branchés pour nous tendre qui ça que vous avez pour dire. Il y a des gens qui sont en Suède, il y a une présentatrice qui sont en Suède pour venir présenter exactement qui ça que vous fait comme innovation pour sécurité dans la machine Volvo pour 2026. Gagnant gagnant pile bagaille. Mais bagage qui est plus important c'est machine de l'année EJAC. Alors, AJAC, A-J-A-C. Alors, c'est une cérémonie pour couronner qui est-ce qui machine qui peut gagner et prix de voiture de l'année, machine de l'année dans le Canada selon eux-mêmes, selon AJAC. Et puis il y a l'autre, il y a Cadillac, il y a les forces armées canadiennes et puis il y a Lego qui ont un bagage spécial, m'a fait nous Welly. Et puis qui ça gagne encore? On regarde encore. Oui, il y a McLaren qui a une présentation spéciale. Et il y a l'autre bagage tout. Il y a un pile l'autre bagage, mais moi-même, je suis nous bagage qui est chaud, qui est hot. Alors, restez branchés. Nous sommes Creole Car Reviews TV. Et puis, regardez.
Good morning, hello, and welcome to everyone. My name is Rick Blacker, and I'm the Vice President Partner of the Marshall Model Group. Today, however, I have the honor and privilege to open this 2026 Media Day presentation as President of the 2026 Canadian International Auto Show. It's great to see everyone come together to celebrate Canada's automotive industry in a time of change, challenges, opportunities, and possible new players on the horizon. During the next 10 days, 45 plus automotive brands will be represented on our floor, and together they will showcase the industry's latest technologies to an expected 350,000 plus consumers, and they will discover what I believe is one of the greatest auto shows you'll find anywhere. Consumers more than ever are demanding choice, and our manufacturers are responding. From full electric, PHEV, hybrid, ICE models across a full range of sizes and capabilities. We've got it all to touch, to smell, to sit in, and 56 models to test drive. We brought together an interesting mix of storylines to share with you both here on stage and around the building as you discover Canada's total automotive experience. And on behalf of the Motor Vehicle Retailers of Ontario, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us as the engine of our economy charges into the new year. But to kick things off with a brand that's obviously very close to my heart and one that has a heartwarming story to share, I'd like to hand it over to President and CEO of Hyundai Canada, Steve Sèlman, and he's going to update us on a story that started right here 12 months ago on this very stage. Steve, I hand it over to you.
All right, good morning. First of all, thoughts and prayers with the victims of this horrific shooting tragedy in British Columbia. So I just want to take a moment to recognize that our thoughts are with them. But on a maybe more uplifting note, again, happy to welcome you back to the Toronto Auto Show. It's obviously incredible to be here again on the same stage, and what a difference a year makes for the cause that we're going to talk about today. So last year I was right here. We launched a very important initiative that holds great meaning for us and for the countless families across the country. So we introduced, as you remember, Hyundai Hope on Wheels, which is a charity dedicated to helping children fight cancer in Canada.
Hyundai Hope on Wheels is dedicated to helping kids fight cancer. We're supporting pediatric oncology centers across Canada by funding groundbreaking research to improve survival rates and patient experience. And a portion of every new Hyundai sold will become a donation, turning each vehicle into a symbol of hope. Because every child deserves a bright future, the chance to grow, play, and live out their dreams. Thank you to all the Hyundai dealers who've joined the fight to end childhood cancer. We're just getting started.
All right, again, with the support of our 225 dealers across the country, we were able to contribute $4 million across all 16 pediatric hospitals in the country. And we didn't stop there. At Hyundai, obviously, we pride ourselves on listening, truly listening. And families told us that their biggest challenges isn't only the treatment itself, but also getting to the treatment. Access remained one of the greatest barriers, especially for those traveling long distances. So in 2026, Hope on Wheels is stepping up even further, donating over $4.1 million to fight pediatric cancer. And this includes $1.15 million specifically for clinical trials and transportation support. So because every child deserves access to treatment, no matter how far they live from it. But that's not all. New this year, I'm pleased to announce that Hyundai Hope on Wheels is partnering with the C17 Council, which is the national leaders of all pediatric hematology, oncology, and stem cell transplant programs across all of Canada. And to kickstart this partnership, Hyundai Hope on Wheels is establishing a $1 million research grant fund, which will support 4 $250,000 research grants awarded over 2 years by the C17 Council. These grants are designed to enable innovative, Canadian-led pediatric cancer research that advances outcomes and expands hope for families nationwide. So we could not do this without our 225 dealers across the country, and thanks to all of them for the support. Together, we're launching a new chapter in how we support Canadian researchers, clinicians, and families who need it the most.
Spirit. But this is the next gear. Ontario's fastest party is on the move. Markham, you're up. Indy fans are about to find out what makes the Greater Toronto Area greater. Canada's only NTT IndyCar Series race is coming to Markham, the home of speed. Fuel up for adrenaline, on and off the track. A city circuit with no limits. 12 turns to get the heart pumping. New location, new show style, exhilarating circuit. We'll see who's up for the challenge. Who's gonna make their mark in Markham?
Only 6 months to go.
Quite an honor for us to accept the winning prize today. So again, thank you. Palisade is a very important vehicle. And in fact, in January, it was the best vehicle in its segment for the first time in its history. So it's gathering even more momentum. We're offering the vehicle, as you know, in ICE version, internal combustion engine, also hybrid, and could not be more proud of the R&D community within Hyundai that brought us this great vehicle that the Canadian consumers really have come to love and appreciate. So again, thank you very much. Thanks to the AJAC jurors. Appreciate it and hope to see you later. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Flamand. Félicitations à Hyundai Canada. Alors, lorsque nous remplissons un bulletin de vote comme membre journaliste de la JAC, nous considérons tous les aspects de l'utilisation d'un véhicule, du comportement routier aux espaces de rangement, en passant par l'insonorisation et plusieurs autres critères. Et grâce à notre souci du détail et notre sens aigu de la comparaison avec la concurrence, seuls les modèles les plus méritants se hissent jusqu'au sommet de notre palmarès.
When casting our votes, AJAC journalists consider every part of a vehicle, from handling dynamics to storage space, so no feature goes unnoticed. It's this attention to detail that makes sure only the most deserving vehicles rise to the top of our list. All votes are made with the vehicle's direct rivals in mind as well, to ensure that it is truly a standout within its own segment. Now, electric vehicles remain a part of our automotive selections across Canada despite fluctuating regulations and demand. There is a new vocabulary that every driver will have to master. Single pedal driving, NACS connectors, 150, 280, or 350 kilowatt charging stations. These are just some of the concepts you need to understand before purchasing an electric vehicle. Plug-in hybrid vehicles with a range greater than 20 kilometers, an all-electric range greater than 20 kilometers, were also included in the electric category, as PHEVs are a perfect bridge between the internal combustion and all-electric worlds. That is just another reason why we chose to go with 2 all-electric categories as part of our Big Four, to help decipher what is important in this segment for Canadians.
Malgré des règles et une demande qui sont un peu mouvantes ces temps-ci, les véhicules électriques demeurent incontournables. Ils ont introduit avec eux un nouveau vocabulaire que chaque automobiliste devra bien finir par maîtriser. Alors, conduite à une pédale, connecteur NACS, borne de recharge de 150, de 280, de 350 kW, ça, c'est seulement quelques-uns des concepts qu'il faut comprendre avant de se procurer un modèle électrifié. Et c'est exactement pourquoi nous avons intégré 2 catégories de véhicules électriques parmi nos 4 grands prix. Les véhicules hybrides rechargeables, d'ailleurs, ceux qui ont une autonomie électrique de plus de 20 km, sont inclus parce qu'ils font parfaitement le pont entre les modèles strictement à essence et une réalité 100% électrique. L'heure est venue de vous présenter justement le prix du véhicule utilitaire électrique de l'année 2026. Alors, on va d'abord jeter un coup d'œil sur les 3 finalistes pour la catégorie. Les 3 finalistes dans la catégorie du véhicule utilitaire électrique canadien de l'année 2026 sont le Hyundai Ioniq 9, le Kia EV9, le Lucid Gravity. Et j'invite Wade de KPMG à me rejoindre sur scène. Pardon, pour présenter en lot du modèle gagnant. Merci beaucoup, Wade. Et maintenant, laissez-moi découvrir en même temps que vous qui est le lauréat du prix du véhicule utilitaire électrique de l'année 2026. Le Kia EV9. Kia propose son propre VUS électrique familial, le V9, qui bénéficie de quelques révisions en 2026 pour demeurer dans l'air du temps. Les performances ont été rehaussées dans la nouvelle version GT, qui développe plus de 500 chevaux, tandis qu'une livrée Nightfall rehausse l'allure extérieure de l'utilitaire à 3 rangées. Les Canadiens apprécieront le mode de conduite tout-terrain qui équipe désormais les versions à rouage intégral, ce qui devrait permettre d'affronter une plus grande variété de conditions routières. Les attributs du Kia EV9 ayant le plus retenu l'attention du jury de la voiture canadienne de l'année sont le design intérieur, le système multimédia et la sécurité.
invite up Michael Kopke, Director of Marketing from Kia Canada, to accept the award.
Well, this is very, very exciting. Thank you very much. We are incredibly proud of the Kia EV9, having been introduced 3 years ago, the very first in its segment as a first 3-row full-size SUV to the Canadian public, and it's been selling like gangbusters. Winning this award from AJAC, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup à tous les joueurs de AJAC, because we are now going to add this to our mantle of over 50 awards from around the world that EV9 has won, and this is just one more for the trophy case. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, and congratulations to Kia Canada. Now it is time to present the 2026 Canadian Electric Car of the Year Award. So let's take a look at this year's finalists. The finalists for the 2026 Canadian Electric Car of the Year are the Lucid Air, The finalists for the 2026 Canadian Electric Car of the Year are the Lucid Air, Porsche Taycan, and the Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid. I'll invite Wei back on stage from KPMG to present the honor. And the winner of the 2026 Canadian Electric Car of the Year is the Porsche Taycan.
Oh yeah.
Porsche's player in the all-electric sedan market is the Taycan, and for 2026, it received some subtle changes. The 2026 model now offers more charging power for your devices, a new sport sound system for the driver, and new special edition models, to name some of the changes. With Porsche's dedication to driving enjoyment, the Taycan offers precise handling combined with a responsive electric powertrain to deliver driving fun. The attributes that stood out most on the Porsche Taycan are the styling, quality, and the steering and handling. We'll invite Trevor Arthur, President and CEO of Porsche Cars Canada, up to accept the award.
Yes, thank you everyone, and good morning. We are incredibly honored for the Canadian Car of the Year panel to recognize the Taycan for the outstanding choice this year. We are incredibly grateful and appreciative of that. And it's somewhat of a full circle moment for this first all-electric model for us. The Taycan celebrated its actual world debut in 2019 right here in Canada in the stunning backdrop of Niagara Falls. Since its market introduction, the Taycan has been continually upgraded with more range, more power, faster and more stable charging, even sharper design, and expanded the list of standard equipment and a further enhanced digital driving experience. Above all, the Taycan has demonstrated that it has the soul of a true Porsche. It embodies everything our founder had in mind when he envisioned the ideal sports car. A vehicle with a unique blend of efficiency, performance, timeless design, everyday usability, and emotionality. Thank you again to AJAC, members of the jury, for recognizing the Taycan as the Canadian Electric Car of the Year. Thank you, everyone.
Félicitations à Porsche Canada et merci encore, M. Arthur. Et voici maintenant la dernière récompense de cette cérémonie, mais certainement pas la moindre. Alors, redécouvrons ensemble les finalistes pour le prix de la voiture canadienne de l'année 2026. Les 3 finalistes dans la catégorie de la voiture canadienne de l'année 2026 sont la Honda Civic, la Hyundai Elantra, la Porsche 911 Carrera. Et pour la dernière fois, j'invite Wade de KPMG à me rejoindre pour me remettre l'enveloppe tant convoitée. Merci une fois de plus à Wei Jiang pour sa collaboration. Et sans plus tarder, les journalistes membres de l'AJAC attribuent le prix de la voiture canadienne de l'année 2026 à la Honda Civic. La Honda Civic a entamé l'année modèle 2026 dans la foulée d'une légère refonte survenue en 2025 qui a apporté des changements à l'apparence, un habitacle muni d'écran plus grand et davantage de technologies intégrées. Les options de motorisation sont demeurées en poste, soit le 4 cylindres de 2 litres à essence et le groupe motopropulseur hybride réintroduit l'an dernier. De nouveaux systèmes de sécurité sont également devenus de série, ce qui a enrichi la version de base de la Civic. Les qualités ayant le plus retenu l'attention du jury de la voiture canadienne de l'année pour la Honda Civic sont la qualité, l'ergonomie intérieure et l'attrait auprès des consommateurs. Et j'invite M. Émile Corcourt, vice-président adjoint des ventes et du marketing de chez Honda Canada, à venir accepter le prix.
What an incredible honor. You know, winning Canadian Car of the Year is already unbelievably great feeling for a manufacturer, but winning it 2 years in a row is really something special. So thank you to AJAC for that. It also speaks to the strength of Civic, a vehicle that continues to set the benchmark in design, performance, safety, and quality. But more importantly, it reflects our deep commitment to understanding what Canadian drivers want and need and continuing to deliver it year after year. And it also represents our unwavering commitment to Canadian manufacturing. The Civic is proudly built here in Ontario in Alliston by the extraordinary associates of Honda of Canada Manufacturing. So their craftsmanship, their discipline, and their pride is embedded in every one of these Civics that roll off the line. This reward and this award belongs to all of them. It belongs to our dealer partners, and it belongs to Canadians across the country for helping us to continue to push the bar year after year. Thank you very much. We're incredibly proud of this. Thank you to AJAC and thank you to all of you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, our congratulations goes out to Honda, Hyundai, Kia, and Porsche for all of their 2026 Canadian Car of the Year award winners.
Et une fois de plus, nous félicitons les constructeurs gagnants pour ces 4 prix de la voiture canadienne de l'année 2026. Et c'est comme ça que se conclut notre présentation. Les 4 modèles gagnants seront exposés ici au niveau 800 pour toute la durée du Salon international de l'Auto du Canada. Alors nous, les journalistes de l'AJAC et membres du jury de la voiture canadienne de l'année, nous y serons à différents moments, pour discuter des lauréats avec les consommateurs et les visiteurs.
This does conclude our presentation. Now, all of these winning vehicles will be on display for the duration of the Canadian International Auto Show on Level 800. We will also have AJAC journalists and Canadian Car of the Year award jurors in the booth to talk directly to consumers about our winners. Jesse and myself are also available for anyone who has questions. Please come find us. Thank you very much.
Merci, bon salon.
Merci, bon salon.
I'm looking forward to being on the ground in Montreal at this year's Montreal Games. Really exciting times for the brand, lots of wins, and we are just so appreciative that you're spending time with us here today. So thank you for joining us here in the Cadillac display. We're here for questions if you have any, and I hope that you have a fantastic Canadian International Auto Show. Thanks, everyone.
I've never seen another. Right there. I know, it seems the same. I think I gave it last week.
Exactly, so mostly.
HL. So there's a couple of old trucks that we work because the new fleet that we have is.
And he was fierce.
You're going to buy those if there's any still left.
We need some trained actors with voices.
Everybody else.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Commander Lisa Tubb. I'm the Public Affairs Officer at the Canadian Forces Recruiting Group Headquarters. Today, we have all three elements represented here at the Canadian International Auto Show. We've got the Royal Canadian Navy, the Canadian Army, and off to my left, the Royal Canadian Air Force.
Morning, everybody. My name is Lieutenant Commander Simon Chow. I am the commanding officer for the Canadian Forces Recruiting Centers for the Southern Ontario region. We're really excited to be here this year as a feature exhibit and be able to bring a lot more toys than we have in the past. I'll run you through a quick tour of our exhibit this year. So to my back right here, they're coming tonight. I know it's just an empty desk there right now, but that will be a drone simulator from our Navy. A very interactive display there where people will be able to come and fly some of our Navy drones. To my immediate right here is our Hammerhead drone, which the Navy uses for a variety of drills. We use it for target practice. We use it to simulate small boat attacks against our ships and other things as well. In front of me to my right is one of our new Army Combat Support vehicles. It comes in only one color, our signature Army Green. And these ones are new vehicles that are just coming online right now, which we're very excited about. To my left right here is kind of the workhorse of our Army right now, the Light Armored Vehicle 6. And people will be able to go inside this one through the back and take a look inside. To my far left is the LTV, the Light Tactical Vehicle, which we use to transport troops from point A to point B if we are feeling nice that particular day and want to give them a ride. We also do tend to like to walk 10 to 15 kilometers with 60 pounds on our backs as well. To my left there is our aircraft assets. We've got an engine from our C-130 Hercules transport aircraft, and then behind it to the left is also a compressor from the same aircraft. And behind those, again, they're arriving tonight, but will be another interactive display where people will be able to do a virtual walkthrough of the 130 Hercules aircraft.
Look around you. When you think of a career in the military, you often think of being in the front lines, combat operations. Think of all the occupations and specialties that are required to make these vehicles run, fly those planes. There are opportunities for technical jobs in the Canadian Armed Forces, and moreover, for paid education pathways. For the majority of our technical occupations in the Canadian Armed Forces, you can get your tuition covered and a guaranteed job after graduation. I'm certainly jealous of that pathway. I wish I had taken advantage of it, and yet here I am. Additional to that, I do want to make some notes on recruiting. So right now, in the current fiscal year, as of 5 February, the Canadian Armed Forces have recruited 5,381 new members to our team. The detachment here in Toronto specifically have recruited around 500 alone. Additionally, this center has received 27% more applications than the last fiscal year. If you have any further questions about recruiting, please come see me. I'd be happy to assist. And my colleagues here can respond to any other more technical questions that are a bit above my expertise. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for joining us here at the Canadian International Autoshow Media Day, for coming by the LEGO Group display here at the 700 level once again. As always, they are going to attract a lot of attention with their display that they have put together. This year is no different. It's spectacular. We're pleased to welcome back again this year Lumor Zalika, who's the design manager specialist for LEGO Group, to discuss this incredible LEGO 1950s Cadillac Fleetwood. Lumor, first of all, congratulations on putting this together. It's an amazing vehicle to look at.
Thank you very much. Without the whole team, we're very happy that we can be here again with this vehicle.
You mentioned it when we spoke last year. Tell us a little bit of your background, how you came to be involved with the LEGO Group and putting this project together. Was it just an extension of childhood?
Yes. I always joke that I've been with the company for almost 12 years, but I have over 30 years of building experience. But I actually studied multimedia and graphics, and I spent some time in the film industry. And then when LEGO was hiring for external freelance 3D modeling work, I applied. I loved the fact that, unlike with movies, this gets built physically, so it exists in the end in the real world. And then I applied for a full-time job, and I never left.
It's wonderful, and you get to create beautiful vehicles like this LEGO Cadillac, and attract an incredible amount of attention here at the Canadian International Auto Show. You're back again this year. Obviously, it's an important event to be at for LEGO Group as well.
Absolutely. We're just displaying our passion for vehicles. This is the best place to be in. Also showcasing that LEGO Brick is the ultimate creative medium, as I like to call it, because you can build anything with that you can dream of. So no matter if it's a vehicle or anything else, if you imagine it, you can build it.
Do you start a project like this, LEGO Cadillac, as, hey, what do you think if we try this? Or what's the motivation, what's the inspiration? How do you decide to do this?
Well, the inspiration was, the ask rather was, let's get a nice cool-down car. Let's get us a nice ride for Las Vegas Grand Prix, because this is where the car debuted, and to carry in the winners of the Las Vegas Grand Prix last year. And the inspiration was obviously Elvis Presley's pink Cadillac, because what's the better match for Vegas style and the golden era of American automotive design than Cadillac in pink. So then we spent a few weeks on designing the small model first, actually, because there's no set like this.
This is a one-of-one creation, and once you decide, okay, this is what we're going to do, we're going to create a LEGO Cadillac, how do you then begin the process? And you were on a very tight timeline as well.
That's correct. We only had 4 months, start to finish. When I say we, it's a team of 17 people, including engineering specialists, procurement, project management, and the builders. How do you start? You start with a blank piece of paper with a lot of research and inspiration from different model years of Canada. And then, just like you would do in your home or in the bedroom if you're a kid, you build and create until we went through about 12 different iterations of the design for the small car. And at the same time, we actually did wooden mock-up of the interior because we needed to seat 5 people and we needed to make sure everybody fits. We had the special configuration for cameramen because that was the ask. 3 people in the back. Derek Cruz behind the wheel, so we had to do the math right from the start. And then we do the small set and started scaling up.
It's a unique set of challenges, as you mentioned, having a car that needs to operate on a Grand Prix track. You need to carry passengers, you need to be able to drive and transport, so all of that on live television, so there are other stumbling blocks that you have to do, obstacles that you have to overcome as well, so it's problem solving as well as creative.
Absolutely, and it just goes hand in hand with our motto of inspiring and developing the builders of tomorrow. So this is ultimate engineering achievement because it's a rolling vehicle, as Chris said. It's not just a display piece. For example, the chassis is our own custom engineering. We don't do just the brakes and but we have a team of very good engineers who did the inner chassis, integrated the powertrain, and we had to figure out all the different bits and pieces. For example, because this is over 400,000 brakes, one of the biggest challenges was the weight. I absolutely wanted white model tires and the wire rims because these are so accurate and they, for me as a designer, they do like half of the appearance. But we were struggling to find the right load bearing index for the tires because we were so heavy. So we're 2 tons unloaded. So yeah, as I said, many hurdles along the way.
And you have to accommodate a number of passengers and be able to operate. And you mentioned over 400,000 Lego bricks, and it's over 123,000 of them are painted.
Yes, that's correct.
That's an amazing number just to be able to coordinate that. So, and it's very comfortable to sit in, which you just asked me. This is a little surprising that you're sitting on Lego bricks, but it's a very comfortable ride.
For all the jokes about stepping on Lego, sitting on it, it's not too bad. We put extra attention into making all the surfaces smooth and also on the sides. So yeah, it's very comfortable.
So the smiles and the joy I had getting in, that you have still getting in after I don't know how many times, but it was evident if you were watching the Las Vegas Grand Prix as well, the drivers getting in, being excited, and thinking this is a really unique ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And also their driver, Derek Cruz, was so happy. He's a lifelong Lego fan himself, so he was like a kid in the show. I saw that firsthand and seeing the drivers and him having so much fun and something that we created that was like ultimate achievement, I say. And they were so happy. You can see
even after competing in a Grand Prix. Now this is the star attraction that enters into the Lego Group display here at the Canadian International Auto Show. Tell us about some of the other parts of the Lego Group display this year as well.
Well, if you like building and if you like to build cars, we have playroom for you. You can go in and build a car of your own. If you are more into F1, we also have F1 room where you can go and marvel at some other Lego models, not big as this one, but we have some F1 cars as well. We also have some props you can take pictures with, so Lego helmets, Lego cup for the winners. We have all of that. And last but not least, there's a well stock shop. So if you would like to build at home, you're more than welcome to stop by and pick a vehicle, any that matches your preference.
So there's obviously lots to do here, and the other part that got a lot of people's attention during the Las Vegas Grand Prix were the glasses that you and I get to wear as well, which is pretty special. And it's a nice tint. It's not too dark, and it's pretty special. So if you don't mind, we're just going to sit here and relax and enjoy a little bit of the atmosphere here at the Canadian International Auto Show. And you've driven this car a few times. What's it like to drive?
It's surprisingly smooth. It's not too fast, only 20 kilometers per hour, but it doesn't matter. You just cruise along and enjoy the ride. I could do this anytime again.
It is quite addictive, isn't it? It's just to get in and settle in. It's the vibe, it's the feel, it's the Lego Cadillac Fleetwood here at the Canadian International Auto Show. You're going to be here for a little while as well too, so if guys have questions that they want to ask, and you can provide the answers.
Absolutely, I'll also be here tomorrow for a family company. And, please drop by. I'm very happy to meet fans, kids and adults alike, and I'll be happy to chat and answer any more questions if you have them.
Lou Borzalika, it is a pleasure again this year to see you here at the Canadian International Auto Show. Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing this incredible Lego Cadillac to see us.
Pleasure so much. Thank you.
Thank you everyone so much for joining me. I am live from the Canadian International Auto Show here at the Metro
Review Day. This stop is well worth your time here at McLaren. Product specialist Max Hunt is with us to describe this brand new, beautiful W1. We'll give you a little bit of history, the F1, the P1, and now the W1. Max, welcome. It is great to have you, and we are thrilled to see this car. It's been, the word I used when we approached today was stunning, and I think that was is something that a lot of people will feel.
Thanks, Todd. That's very kind. Yes, thanks for welcoming me as well. It's great to be here, and great to be here representing McLaren and here to talk and show you the W1.
Your history with design and engineering is sort of inevitable. You would kind of get into the family business, if you will, to find your way, and you found your way with McLaren.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. So my family are all engineers, really. Started with my grandfather. He was in the military in the Royal Engineers, so it was kind of inevitable, really. My career with McLaren started in 2017, so getting on for a decade ago now, and my role is now to look after W1 among the other supercars.
Let's talk about the W1 and some of the unique features. It's, again, as mentioned, it's stunning, but it starts as an idea, and first of all, tell us how long it is in terms of development from when you begin the process to what we see here.
So W1 as a one car, so I should explain that F1, P1 and W1 we call one cars as the kind of collective term. What they allow us to do is start again with a blank sheet. So go back to first principles and really define what we think it takes to make the best driver's car for road and for track. So because it's a clean sheet, it takes a very long time to develop, by our standards at least. So we're looking at kind of 5 years for the cohesive vehicle program, but some of the elements of the car are actually longer than that.
What makes this a true supercar?
So we call W1 a real supercar. So we went through this kind of quite philosophical exercise when we embarked on the journey to create W1, to define what makes a real supercar and what a one car really is and what it means. We landed on 4 principles. So the first is performance everywhere. Second, epic power. Third, pure connection. And the fourth one is authentic theatre. And it's those principles that help us to create the perfect supercar.
I'll be the guinea pig, and I want to start with epic power because that's demonstrated here.
Yeah, okay, so epic power I think is a fairly simple one to understand, but we've gone to great lengths here. So it's more than about just numbers with W1 of course, but to start with 1,275 PS. It's not just the weight, it's not just the power, sorry, it's also about the weight. The two working in combination together to deliver this kind of ultimate performance. When we wrote down the target for W1, we knew pretty early on that we were going to have to develop a completely new powertrain. So it's a 4-litre hybridised twin-turbo V8, which might sound familiar, but in fact, it's a ground-up new engine. That allowed us to start again from first principles, as I said. The engine is not only lighter than our current V8 engine, but it's also about 55mm shorter. Being shorter gives us a packaging advantage, it needs less space in the car, but also allows us to have a shorter crankshaft, which in turn allows us to spin the engine faster. So not only have we got the most power of any road legal McLaren ever, but we've also got the fastest revving engine, so red lines at 9,200 RPM.
Whoa. That's exciting. Let's talk about now performance everywhere, and that is overall in the car.
Yeah, so performance everywhere is a pretty simple concept. It's really about this kind of almost unimaginable breadth that this car has. I said ultimate driver's car for road and track. It's just as at home on the road as it is on the track. We've got 2 cup holders. As well as all of the performance, we've got space for two people's luggage. The headrests fold down and store luggage behind the occupants' heads. But then we've got this huge well of performance that you can just draw on at any time. The real kind of art, though, is making a car that feels fantastic, feels visceral and exciting when you're only using 10% of the available performance, and that's definitely something we've achieved here.
Part of that is the incredible aerodynamics as part of the W1. Let's start kind of at the front of the car, and as the airflow is coming over, take us through what happens and where the air goes and how that helps the performance of this car.
Sure, Todd. So it's complicated, so I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. But to start with a number again, 1,000 kilograms of downforce in race mode. Obviously, the design of the car is kind of dominated by aerodynamics. This is getting into our authentic theatre principle, where we've got this quite smooth surface over the top of the car, low drag, but actually all of the kind of bolder forms and surfaces below the waistline are really controlling all of the airflow around the car, and crucially helping us to create this ground effect downforce with the air moving under the car. So we've got an active aero element at the front, an active front splitter. That's that lowest section that we can see here. And we've also got what we call the active long tail, the wing at the rear of the car. In race mode, this extends 300 millimeters rearward. It has to do this in race mode because it's not actually legal to use it in that position on the road. So you can see it there extended backwards and rearwards. And it behaves like a conventional active rear wing, but actually its function is to extend the diffuser. So we're channeling this very clean airflow underneath the car. All of these kind of complex forms that you can see here, we're actually creating what's called aerodynamic outwash. So controlling the flow of air around the wheels and actually throwing the turbulent air that you don't want out of the car, channeling it into the high temperature radiators that we can see here, and creating vortices to seal either side of the car. So you've got this really clean airflow underneath the car feeding the diffuser.
That is, that's a very simplified, if you will, explanation of a complicated principle, but it's just, there isn't a piece on this car that doesn't have a function.
No, that's right, and that's a bit of a trademark of ours, so it's really, its form is defined by its function. Obviously we've gone to great lengths to make it beautiful, but it's absolutely about function. You can't achieve the performance that this car can achieve without the design being dominated by that.
You mentioned the phrase authentic theater, and that is part of the feel of the car and the feelings you get when you are seated in the car.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the kind of grander scale, so the race mode transformation that we talked about, the wing extending rearward, the suspension lowering, so we lower the suspension by 27 millimeters at the front and 17 at the rear. It's incredibly dramatic, but it's absolutely functional. That's how we achieve that downforce number. But there are also smaller details. When you look through at the front plan here, you can see these small openings that reveal the pushrod front suspension struts. So as I stand here, I'm looking at the coil spring through this little aperture. Obviously, a hole is lighter than any material that could be where the hole is. Everything here is kind of doing a job. And then smaller details, the use of exotic materials, titanium, magnesium, the 3D printed wishbones, and even the materials inside the cabin. We've made some kind of pioneering engineering developments with materials, this knitted material that allows us to kind of control personalization, so we can fade from one color into another, but also that's used as a kind of replacement for a conventional speaker grill, so we can pass sound through it without having a weighty speaker grill. You can also pass light through it because you've got complete control over the wing. of that material. It's very, very clever.
That's part of the pure connection inside, because the seat does not move. You are inside, you essentially become part of this car.
That's it, Todd. So if you imagine yourself sitting inside the car, you're not sitting on a conventional seat, as you say, you're sitting kind of on and in what we call the tub, which is the carbon fibre monocoque. That's bespoke for W1, it's called the aerocell. So it doesn't get any more connected than that. You're kind of sitting on the core of the car. There are some pads on there so that it's comfortable for you. But then the pedal box moves towards you, as does the steering wheel and the steering column. And then what can you feel? Well, beautiful hydraulic steering. This has been a hill to die on for McLaren for some time now. But there is nothing that kind of can come close to the tactility, clarity and feedback that you get from a great hydraulic steering system. Conventional hydraulic braking system with a very, very advanced friction couple. So once you accelerate to 200 kilometers an hour in 5.8 seconds, thanks to the power that we were talking about earlier, when you stand on the brakes from 200 kilometers an hour, you can stop in 100 meters.
Whoa. Remarkable. You mentioned that you essentially start with a blank sheet when you're creating a car like the W1, but there is DNA that runs through the F1, the P1, and the W1, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are some things that you can point to. So F1 famously was the first carbon fibre monocoque in a road car. That theme runs through from F1 to P1 to W1. There are then threads between them. So hybridization, that's what P1 really brought to the fore. But thematically, it's those principles that we were talking about that are what they all share.
And the other part of this, we'll open the door so you can see in a moment, but while this is a special and unique car, there's a great personalization that will become part of it as well.
Absolutely. So personalization is a really, really key part of what we've got on offer here. Every client who is taking delivery of a W1 has an allocation, goes through a personalization process with MSO, which is McLaren Special Operations. They're our bespoke division, and their remit is kind of the art of the possible. So what we're finding is that customers who specify their W1 really often take it as a way to really express themselves. And treat it as a project. You know, spend an awful lot of time and put a great deal of heart into the specification of their car, and MSO are the people responsible for making that happen.
Max Hunt is the product specialist for McLaren and has been giving us a great debrief, if you will, on this car. He's available if you have questions and want to ask a specific question of Max for one-on-one interviews. I'm told to remind you that the next stop on the media tour is 12:20 at the Hot Wheels display at the bottom of the escalator. But Max, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking us through a tour of this remarkable car, the latest in the McLaren, the W1. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks so much, Todd. Thanks, everyone.
Pas oublier subscribe, pas oublier like, et puis cliquer sur ti bell là, sur ti cloche là, pour nous avoir toutes notifications les bails, les poster nouveaux contenus, pour nous arrêter brancher sur le canal là. Et puis merci en pile, c'est nous-mêmes qui famille moi, c'est nous-mêmes qui aidons, qui donnent courage pour faire ça m'a faire, parce que c'est pour nous ma travail.